Hello everyone, and welcome to my The Bold Fans channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. The startling turn of events. Is Electra actually crazy while Melissa Dillon stays calm? According to teasers and updates for The Bold and the Beautiful, fans were taken aback by Electra Forrester's suspicious actions this week. Could Melissa Dillon be the truly sane person and Electra the insane one? Electra behaves differently with everyone depending on who is there. Electra exhibits erratic behavior. Is Melissa Dillon totally innocent? Or does Electra have personal problems that need to be addressed? Electra began acting inconsistently as soon as Will Spencer asked Melissa Dillon to stay in the guest home above his garage. Okay, that seems a little suspicious, but it was only an isolated incident. This week it occurred once more. And this time it was considerably more severe. What is really going on with Electra? During the January 1st and 2nd episodes earlier this month, Dillon thanked Will and Electra for offering her a place to stay. Dillon graciously said, "Thank you so much," and expressed her happiness that Electra had met someone as sweet as Will. Electra has been living in her car. When Dillon was sharing her experience with Will and Electra, they reassured her that she had come to the correct people since these wealthy Malibu residents genuinely care. Dillon was very considerate and respectful, but other problems started to emerge. When Will originally offered Dillon the spare room, she first turned him down, saying she wouldn't feel at ease there until Electra was also there. By the way, Ivy Forrester, a fully grown adult, has cautioned Electra against sleeping over at Will's too frequently, as if Ivy has any power to make such a statement. In any case, Dillon was being considerate and courteous when she stated that she wouldn't feel at ease without Electra around. Dillon didn't jump at the chance to be near to Will without his girlfriend there, despite the fact that she found him appealing. When Dillon was shown the room over the garage, she was ecstatic. She gave Will a hug to show her appreciation, but Electra was there, and it was entirely innocent. But when Will left to go surfing and it was just Dillon and Electra, the mood changed. Will overheard Electra say, "We need to help Dillon, she's my friend." However, as soon as Will left, Electra's attitude drastically changed, and Dillon told her how nice Will was to let her stay. Electra immediately became combative rather than agreeing. She told Dillon that even the most giving hosts don't like visitors to remain for a long time, therefore she couldn't stay there for very long. To be clear, Electra does not live with Will and it is not her home. Will didn't give Dillon a time limit when he offered her a place to stay. He only wanted her to have time to find her own place, get a job and stable her finances. As soon as Will left, Electra turned against her, even though she claimed to be very giving and sincerely wanted to help Dillon. That day, Electra also said, "Will wants respect." He didn't tell Dillon that as a requirement for her to move in. That was just a prelude to Electra's next point, which was to demand Will's respect and admit that he is her boyfriend. Dillon has generally been respectful throughout this scenario, but to be fair, there is a little more to take into account. That was the major point she intended to make with her comment regarding respect. We've seen her eyeing Will while he was taking a shower outside, and in the most recent episode, she appeared to give him a quick glimpse while he was sleeping on the couch. You might find it unsettling, or you might think, "Oh, she's glad he's getting some sleep. He's such a wonderful guy." No one is saying that Dillon is totally innocent, but it's hard to turn away from a handsome man taking a shower outside. Although it felt a little excessive for her to watch Will snooze, it's normal to stare, but Electra is oblivious to all of this. Everything Electra said would be unrelated to Dillon checking out Will, since Dillon has never checked out Will in front of Electra. Everything Electra says to her has nothing to do with that. Let's fast forward to this week. Dillon is keeping her word and continuously looking for work in order to relocate and restore her financial security. Will said she didn't have to do the laundry, but Dillon claimed she wanted to assist, so she was doing it for Will and Electra. Because Electra was busy at work, Will asked Dillon to sit down and eat the chicken he had made. At first Dillon refused, but Will persisted, and eventually Dillon accepted. Again, there was no flirtation and everything felt quite innocent, more like a friendly environment. After Ivy and Steffi discussed Dillon staying with Will, things changed. In the meantime, Electra was occupied with telling Ivy Forrester that she felt horrible about Will eating supper by himself, and Dillon behaved nicely. She simply added some hot sauce and ate without going overboard. She doesn't have a job or any money, and it's unclear where she gets her meals. Normally, when you visit someone's home for supper, they offer you at least some leftovers. Electra complimented Dylan on being a good friend and a nice person while speaking with Ivy. It all appeared very sweet, almost too sweet to be honest. Ivy and Steffi Forrester both mentioned Dylan's stay at Will's. Steffi talked about Electra having her boyfriend all to herself, and Ivy thought it was wrong. Steffi remarked that Electra could have her boyfriend all to herself once Dylan moved out and settled in. Perhaps that's what triggered her to get irrationally enraged with Dylan. When Will informed Electra that Dylan had eaten some of the chicken he had prepared, Electra made a remark about Will taking her place. When Electra returned from her business trip, he promised to cook for her. However, she told Will that she didn't want Dylan to become too comfortable, and that she would handle her. Will requested Dylan to sit down and share dinner, but she first refused until he insisted in his own home. "Come up to Forrester Creations," Electra texted Dylan, hinting that something had happened between Dylan and Will last night. Dylan clarified that Will had insisted on eating with her, but Electra contended that Dylan erred and ought to have turned Will down as it was improper. Even though she didn't refer to it as inappropriate, Dylan did say no, and Electra warned, "It better never happen again." Feeling a little uneasy, Dylan promised to move out as soon as possible. When Electra is among other people, she is incredibly kind and behaves like Dylan's best friend. But when they are by themselves, it seems like she is quietly harassing a girl who is in need. Why is she behaving this way? All of this could be related to Luna Nozawa. Electra appears to be so preoccupied with Will's dead pregnant stalker that she has the worst opinion of Dylan. Electra may have post-traumatic Luna disorder. Because of her resentment of Luna, it seems as though Electra is punishing Dylan. Since Luna was Will's worst fear, some of Electra's actions make sense, but attacking an innocent girl is unacceptable. Dylan's excessive generosity can be interpreted as suspicious. She might be involved in a malicious scheme. Maybe Dylan is just a poor girl being harassed by a wealthy girl like Electra who has never experienced adversity and is acting unreasonably. Or maybe she is following Will. B&B spoilers. Sheila Carter ought to be furious if we're playing devil's advocate. Over the years, Sheila Carter has become rather well known on The Bold and the Beautiful. No one can forget all of the blatantly evil and insane things she has done over the years, even if she has been on her best behavior since she married Deacon Sharp. Even though Taylor Hayes is aware of Sheila's potential, she continues to have extramarital affairs. Wouldn't it make more sense to simply look for a single man? According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffi Forrester will be in a panic next week and determined to put an end to her mother's developing affair with Deacon Sharp. Sheila Carter's husband is where Steffi draws the line, although she is okay with her mother having affairs with her patients and married men. According to reports, Steffi Forrester will argue with Deke Sharp and Hope Logan and threaten them to keep their father away from her mother. Additionally, she will include her father, Rich Forrester, in the drama and implore him to persuade his mother to leave the restaurant owner alone. Spoilers for B&B indicate that Steffi will do anything it takes to protect her mother from Sheila. However, isn't quitting flirting with married men the simplest way to save Taylor Hayes? While Taylor's family comes together to support her in fending off Deacon's wife, nobody seems to have realized that the easiest way out is to avoid hooking up with married men. Sheila should be furious because everyone knows that when Deacon eventually musters the bravery to serve Sheila Carter with divorce papers, she will go on a rampage. Doesn't she have a right to be upset if her husband is lying to her about improving their marriage while secretly seeing his therapist? Even a rational lady wouldn't handle it well, even though we're not Sheila fans. B&B Spoilers Weekly Update January 26 to 30th. Deacon's Choice, Will's Serious Error and Ivy Spies. Some surprises are revealed in The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the week of January 26th. Ivy Forrester undertakes some snooping to start. Will Spencer is on the verge of going too far. Deacon Sharp also approaches Taylor Hayes. The redirection of Steffi Forrester Finnegan. Let's begin with Steffi Forrester Finnegan. Fans are aware that Electra Forrester and Ivy were scheduled to travel to San Francisco for business. Dylan was cautioned by Electra to remain in her flat the entire time. However, Steffi reveals that the plans have changed in a weekly preview segment. Steffi will accompany Electra on the business trip in lieu of Ivy. Dylan's big mistake: Ivy will visit the beach house to see how things are doing while Electra and Steffi are away. But when she looks out the window, she witnesses a terrifying scene. Observing Dylan and Will in close proximity, Ivy reels. It looks like they are going to kiss because their faces are so close to one another. Ivy will be in a difficult situation as a result. Does she go up to Will and Dylan? Return to Electra? Stay silent and hope she was dreaming? Then there is Dylan's entire point of view. Could Electra be overanalyzing things due of Luna Nozawa? Or is she truly after Will? Deacon Sharp's choice according to Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the week of January 26th. Deacon is aware that pursuing Taylor carries a significant risk. Nevertheless, he is considering Hope Logan Spencer's support. Deacon will ultimately hold Taylor's face in his hands. The two then give each other a tender, passionate kiss. But as the week goes on, everyone will work hard to keep Sheila Carter Sharp from learning the truth. John Finn Finnegan is concealing it from his own biological mother as well. Things will get complex just because Deacon asked Taylor out on a date. Will he eat at Il Giardino with Taylor while Sheila serves them? Both Deacon and Taylor are having trouble thinking coherently. Why did Deacon get back together with Sheila in the first place if he was only planning to move on? Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Did RJ spend time with the Maroons in Italy? Will RJ Forrester's complex history with DNA testing be revisited on The Bold and the Beautiful? Longtime BMB followers are aware that RJ is not a Forrester and that Nick Marone, Brooke Logan's other ex, may be his biological father. Is it because RJ has made the decision to return to his roots why there is so much talk on the internet about the Marone family returning in 2026? On The Bold and the Beautiful, RJ Forrester was born in 2003. Who is his real father? When Brooke Logan believed Ridge's brother Nick Marone was dead, she had an affair with him. When it was later discovered that Ridge Forrester was still alive, Brooke was unaware of which of the men was the father of her child. Before Brooke gave birth, a number of DNA tests were performed and tampered with. The fact that the guys were genetically related made matters worse. Before any more tests could be conducted, Brooke named her son after Ridge after a fourth test revealed that he was the father. Many season watchers continue to believe that Nick, not Ridge, may be RJ's father. However, RJ is still officially a Marone even though his father is Ridge. Perhaps RJ was interested in learning more about his biological grandfather? Is the Marone family making a triumphant and stunning comeback? The Marone family has received a lot of online attention. Dylan may be the long-lost daughter of Massimo and Sheila, according to rumors. In addition, there is speculation that Jack Wagner might return as Nick Marone in the coming months. Bradley Bell hinted that one of the original core families will return as the fashion wars on the soap opera intensified. Some fans believe he was alluding to Massimo's clan. Nick Marone is known to reside in Italy, and it is thought that his father, Massimo Marone, is still alive and in Europe. RJ Forrester has been in Italy for months, according to his mother. Do you believe that he was covertly developing a bond with Massimo and Nick all along? Kimberlyn Brown's performance as a desperate Sheila Carter is this week's Bold and the Beautiful performer. Sheila Carter has gone above and above on The Bold and the Beautiful to demonstrate to everyone in Deacon's life that she has changed. She wants everyone in the vicinity to know that she believes Taylor Hayes miraculously restored her marriage. Sheila is completely ignorant of her developing bond with Deacon, though as she extols the virtues of the excellent doctor. Sheila is dangerous when she is in a frantic attempt to maintain her marriage. This week, unlike any previous time, Brown skillfully depicted a reformed loose cannon that was about to explode. Sheila from Kimberlyn Brown's Performer of the Week, The Bold and the Beautiful, began the week attempting to bring back the fiery playfulness that she and Deacon used to have. Sheila has a complicated past, yet it's hard not to feel her sadness when Deacon rejects her advances. Sheila believed that because Deacon had consented to their marriage's reconciliation, things ought to have gone back to normal. But their reunion hasn't exactly been a return to normal. Sheila is pleading with his kids to give her a chance as he has what appear to be daily therapy sessions with Taylor, his soon-to-be mistress. Supporting Brown isn't typically the first response because she has portrayed a villain for most of her tenure as Sheila. It causes unparalleled amounts of second-hand shame to see her repeatedly argue with Deke, just to have him ignore her and turn away. It's a credit to Brown's acting skills that she gives a sympathetic performance because viewers should hate Sheila for the horrible crimes she's perpetrated over the years. There's a reason why Sheila has been revitalized numerous times in The Bold and the Beautiful and even The Young and the Restless. On television, Brown is enchanting and brings out the best in each of her co-stars. Every time Sheila appears in a scene, viewers can be certain that something crazy or bizarre will occur. It was the same this week. Genuine concern is created by the way she emphasizes that Taylor is the key to mending her marriage, while the audience watches Deacon and Taylor get closer. What will Sheila Carter do next? Whatever is developing between Deacon and Taylor is not slowing down. They keep flirting with the possibility of being more than a doctor and patient, even after Steffi begs them to sever their relationship so as not to upset Sheila. Despite the fact that he is inevitably married to Sheila, Deacon suggested going on an actual date with Taylor on Friday's all-new episode. Sheila must eventually learn the truth, and everyone's destiny will be shaped by her response. People who are familiar with Sheila anticipate that she will react negatively and turn to her violent tendencies. But what if Sheila handled it with elegance and grace, shocking everyone? It's a fun idea to consider, even if it's quite unlikely considering how easy she can be set off. Unfortunately for Taylor, Sheila's enthusiasm and energy for praising her may just as readily be transformed into hate and fury. Taylor has previously been shot by Sheila, so it's a little unexpected that she would even entertain the idea of spending time with her spouse. Even though Sheila risked her life to save Steffi's, the old, lethal and violent persona still lurks beneath the surface. Sheila has come a long way. After going through a lot in the past few years, Taylor is pushing darkness to spread rather than striving for a better future. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Taylor goes missing, and Steffi knows exactly who did it. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers are laying the groundwork for one of the year's darkest, most explosive plotlines, and it all centers on one horrifying possibility. Taylor Hayes disappears. And Steffi Forrester Finnegan won't even think twice when that occurs. She will be able to pinpoint the actual culprit. Sharp Sheila. No inquiries. Without a question. No room for doubt. There was one immediate, unquestionable fact. Sheila finally lost her temper. Steffi is not overreacting. Rather, her fear is pattern recognition rather than paranoia. She's not being overly theatrical. She is not projecting. She is recalling the past. Because Sheila Carter has spent decades demonstrating one thing with unsettling consistency. People disappear when Sheila feels deceived, humiliated, or replaced. Not in a symbolic sense. In actuality, people are shot. People become stuck. People are taken captive. People are assumed to be dead. People are buried alive. People are forced off cliffs. Sheila is now, for the first time in years, in the identical emotional situation that has caused each and every one of her previous breakdowns. She feels as though she is losing the guy she loves to another woman. Not just any woman either. Hayes Taylor. She was saved by this woman. The woman who gave her advice. The woman who supported her marriage. The woman who grinned at her. The woman posing as an ally. And the woman who harbored a secret desire for her spouse. It's not just a messy combo. It is deadly mentally. The therapist is the ultimate betrayal. Trusting. Rivalry. From Sheila's perspective, and this is important, Taylor is more than just a rival. The epitome of betrayal is Taylor. She is the expert who gave her advice. The woman who acknowledged her development. The individual who supported her relationship. The person in charge who assured her that she was secure. The voice of morality that professed neutrality. And right now, the same woman is having fantasies about her spouse, emotionally connected to her spouse, giving her hubby a kiss, stepping over boundaries in the workplace, thinking about taking her place. This isn't romance to Sheila. The psychological warfare seems staged, seems deceptive, seems like a setup. It seems like humiliation under the pretext of assistance. And that doesn't make someone with Sheila's personality type depressed. Annihilation instincts are triggered by it. Takon is the spark that lights the bomb. To be clear, Taylor and Deacon are not falling in love. Rather, they are transgressing every moral, psychological and emotional barrier imaginable. Therapist and patient. Moral authority and a married man. Confident people on an emotional level. Shared fantasies. A secret desire. Unsaid longing. And then they share a kiss? It's finished. Because Sheila is not just betrayed by that kiss. Her deepest fear, that everyone around her has been lying, is validated by this. That the changed Sheila was merely a fabrication. Because she is still viewed as disposable by the world. Because individuals still believe they have the right to lie to her. Furthermore, Sheila does not handle that kind of insight gently.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.